Ron, thanks very much for stopping by. As a matter of fact, I commandeered Ron. He was stopped in my office, and I said to him, you know, let's go down and shoot an interview because you have so many interesting things to say. So I got my friend Marvin Reyes here to do this interview at the last moment. Ron is the president of the National Hispanic Coalition of FAA Employees. He's been president since October.
That's correct.
He's a supervisor at the Fort Worth Air Route Traffic Control Center, and we were talking about some of your activities. Ron, let me first ask you, not everyone understands what the National Hispanic Coalition of FAA Employees does, nor do they understand the Black Coalition or, you know, any of those coalitions. What do you guys do?
Just to put it in layman terms, we go out and we talk with people like yourself, with management about some issues that are out there. When it comes to maybe how do we reach out into the Hispanic community? How do we reach out to our own employees in such a way that maybe the agency is not as familiar with doing?
You know, in the conversation upstairs, we talked about your recent work with the job fairs and what you can do with enough notification of the job fairs and how you can get people out. I know we're in this hiring thing, and tell us what you were able to accomplish at Albuquerque, which I thought was very interesting.
You know, Albuquerque was, I think it's indicative of what we can do. To give a little bit of background, the agency has told us that they're looking at hiring 10 to 12,000 controllers, air traffic controllers over the next 10 years, and we got on board with going out there and trying to find people to come to these job fairs. We were notified about the job fairs for the first couple of job fairs, Oakland and Albuquerque, at the same time, and with about less than a week's notice, the turnout at Oakland was somewhere around 178 people. But with 2 weeks plus those few days notice that we had at Albuquerque, the turnout was almost 1,200 people.
So it gave you more time to beat the bushes and get people out.
We had
the word around.
a network that was working tremendously, and the message that I'm taking to the agency is we can do this all over. And in Albuquerque, we had also a supervisor there by the name of Ernesto Rodriguez, who took the bull by the horns and had people going out to the colleges and universities, had people going to radio stations, made a contact with Univision, some people call it Univision, the Spanish television station there. From that, the English television station picked up on it. And it's my theory that getting the word out into the Hispanic community, albeit in the Spanish language, will get to the right people eventually.
But their English proficiency was good.
Outstanding. I mean, we had college educated, I mean, just regular American folks there,
Yeah, isn't that great? That's wonderful. Now let's get back to your situation. You joined the agency in 1988, and you're the recipient of this network. Tell us how that happened.
Well, I was 20 years old when I graduated with my bachelor's degree, and I was having a hard time having people take a chance on me, I think, and I'm sitting there, and I, since a kid, had a love of aviation. But as I'm doing odd jobs and maintaining a living, they're making a living, my brother calls me up because there is an ad in the McAllen Monitor, the newspaper down in McAllen, Texas. And he says, "Hey, Ron," he says, "they're advertising down here in McAllen for air traffic controllers. And, he says, you like all that aviation stuff. He says, why don't you come down here and take the test? Maybe you can come back closer to home."
Right.
I had no idea what an air traffic controller was, what an air traffic controller did. Took the initiative to go down to the Austin Mueller Airport at the time, and just buzzed up front and said, "Hey, my name is Ron. You don't know who I am, but I'd sure like to know what an air traffic controller does."
And they took you in, huh?
They took me in, gave me the tour, and I thought it was the coolest thing I had ever seen. It was really neat stuff, and it got
died and gone to heaven, right?
It got under my skin immediately.
Really?
And I told them that I thought I was going to do this I said, I think I'm going to go down to McAllen. I'm going to take that test. I'm going to become a controller.
And he told you about the test.
He says, you don't have to go down there. He says, they're administering the test next week right here at the Federal Building in Austin. He said, why don't you go down there and take the test? So I did. Went down, took the test, made a very good grade, and 6 months later I was in the agency. The process just worked, and 6 months later I was in Oklahoma City. And it dawned on me as we were getting back into the job fairs and going out and recruiting people and looking for folks, is all we got to do is get the word out there.
Get to the right communities.
Get out there, and we in the Hispanic Coalition have the people that can do that, and we've got the connections, the communications, and one of my efforts is to build more alliances, to build more partnerships, and along with FAA management, along with corporate America that can help us in accomplishing our goals, but other Hispanic organizations out there as well, and we get these networks working, and we can really get the word out.
Now let's go back a little bit, and now you're at the Fort Worth Center now. You've served at a total of 3 centers: Houston, Albuquerque, and Fort Worth.
Correct, as a controller, staff specialist, and supervisor.
Okay, so now you're supervisor. Great. What things do you have in mind? I mean, you've been in since October. That's a very short time here. You're putting together a plan for what you want to accomplish this next year.
Right.
What do you have in mind?
Well, the outreach and of course doing what we can to reach Hispanics for the agency is highly important to us. Right. It's highly important, I think, that we promote higher education, not only for Hispanics out in the community, but which we do. We go out to job fairs, we go out to schools.
Do you really?
Our members go out and talk to kids. Our career days, we do all that kind of stuff, and trying to promote higher education. But we also promote it with our members. We have a member tuition reimbursement program that if our members go to class, get a good grade, come back to us with the bill and the grade, we do what we can to try to reimburse their tuition.
Awesome. Good.
Promotion of aviation careers in the Hispanic community. Getting out for ACE camps and the promotion of aviation careers, whether it's controllers or aviation medicine, mechanics, et cetera, promotion of
That's great.
aviation, the building of alliances and partnerships, which I talked about earlier, and that being with management, with corporations, with other Hispanic organizations, and one thing that while I also want to refocus us to helping the agency in accomplishing its mission, doing those things that directly help the agency in one way or another. But I need the help from the agency. How can we help you?
Good.
And so reach to us. How can we help you?
Yeah.
I also need to focus on the fact that we are an organization built on membership, and we need to focus on what our members want and what we can do to help our members.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are laying out a plan. I've got a team that's put together. They're starting to work on our strategic plan that hopefully can lay out a plan for the next few years, and we can build on that.
That's great. Well, listen, I'm so glad you stopped by, and I'm so glad we had an opportunity to talk a little bit.
Thanks for inviting me. I appreciate it.
We'll be in touch, because I want to talk to you about this whole communications thing, not just about Hispanic issues, but about stuff generally. And
well, we are revamping our look to a blue and green to match our logo, and which I think complements the FAA logo as well.
You said the right thing, my friend.
Yeah, which it's the blue and the green with the gold trim.
Good.
And we're revamping our website, nhcfae.org, and our quarterly newsletter, La Palabra, comes out, which we're looking at helping getting the word out.
Yeah, because we're looking for ways of maximizing all of these avenues for getting the word out, and not everybody, you'll be shocked and amazed to find this out, but not everybody goes to our site. So. But they do go to yours, so we'll be in touch. Thank you again very much.
Thank you.
Good luck, huh?
Thank you.